Well, for more on the Chinese steel industry and its global peers, I'm joined by Liu Chunsheng, live from Beijing. He's an associate professor from China's Central University of Finance and Economics. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, for people trying to understand the complexities of this steel overcapacity issue, why is it so controversial?
Yes. I think the issue is very complex. I think there are a lot of reasons for that. The first is the local government, they have the pressure of economic growth, especially in the provinces like Hebei and the provinces like Jiangsu, where the steel industry is the pillar for the local economy. And the second one is the unemployment problem. We know there are a lot of people working in the steel industry. If we're cutting down, like what we planned, cutting down 100 million tons of steel capacity in 5 years, 3,000 workers will lose their jobs. And if you include the upstream and the downstream enterprises, the number will be bigger. And the third one is I think the bad debts in the banks will bring a lot of huge risks to financial system in China. So I think the issue is very controversial, yes.
So there is that case of trying to balance this loss of jobs with overcapacity. So what steps is China taking to reduce steel capacity at the moment?
I think Chinese government really made great efforts to solve this problem. In 2011 to 2015, China has already cut down 90 million tons of steel capacity. At the beginning of 2016, Chinese government made a detailed plan of reducing the steel capacity. It aims to cut down another 100 to 150 million tons in 5 years. There will be two ways to finish these tasks. One is called guided elimination. We are trying to use the policy to shut down the zombie companies, encourage international capacity cooperations and mergers and acquisitions, transformations among steel enterprises. The other is called forced elimination, by means of setting strict standards and rules for steel companies like the energy, technology, production safety, and the environmental protection.
Now, Liu, despite the progress that the government is making, we're still seeing a number of anti-dumping lawsuits against Chinese firms and also some retaliatory tariffs. But is this the best way to handle this issue? Is there a more effective strategy, perhaps?
Yes, in fact, the local government need to do a lot of jobs, and we have to work together, not just the central government, but the local government need to have the scheme to cut down the overcapacity. And in fact, they are doing that. By far, the task is just to finish the 1/3 in this year. I think there will be a lot of we need to do in the next half a year, yes.
Now, with globalization, we're also seeing industries like steel really evolve to become more innovative and more efficient. And analysts say that's also contributing to a lot of these job losses that we're seeing in the steel industry. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, in a global way, I think globalization is a trend you cannot avoid. If you take the advantages of globalization, you have to endure the risks and the negativities. And I think China is now taking the responsibility by cutting down the overcapacity. Well, the other countries should take responsibility too. And I think when we're facing the difficulties, all the countries should work together, cooperate with each other, and sometimes compromise to one another to solve this problem. if all the countries just want to protect itself, okay, I think take the protectionism, I think the whole world will sink, yes.
Now, the IMF actually agrees with you. They did reaffirm that blaming trade deals is not the answer, and they actually said that trade protectionism would end up hurting global growth overall. So do you think there is a middle ground that could perhaps be reached in this issue?
I think all the countries should work together to work out a scheme, like how much they want China to cut down the overcapacity, and how they can accept the Chinese products, and not just protection, like by improving the tariff and other trade barriers.
Well, thank you very much for your insights. We'll have to leave it there. Our thanks to Liu Chunsheng, Associate Professor from China's Central University of Finance and Economics.